So how often do you feel like a bad parent? They've actually talked to different parents and they've tried to get an idea to maybe feel a little bit better about yourself. I don't know if you put a number on it, but I think every parent probably gives themselves their own little round of guilt trips about how they're parenting their kids.
Sure. I mean, we're not perfect. We're human. We're going to make mistakes.
They did break it down on numbers. They say that parents of young children question their parenting skills on average of 3 times per week. What do you think? You above or below that mark?
That feels about right.
Okay. 3 sounds good. And there are probably actually worse parents that don't even care, so they don't even have any guilt about it.
Yeah. If you never question anything you've done as a parent, that just kind of tells me you don't care.
Right.
So you have to feel guilty a lot as a parent then, right?
You do. And I think when you're in a pressure cooker, and sometimes these kids, they put you in a pressure cooker. Like they just nag you about something and you finally snap and you yell at them and then you feel bad afterwards. Like that happens a lot. Mm-hmm. You got to deal with all the stresses of being the grown up. And then you got this little person asking you if they can buy another computer and they already own 7 computers. And you're like, really?
He's building something.
He is building his future.
Yeah, they say parents feel like they are a bad parent 156 times annually. That's what it breaks down to. They said that a lot of the challenges come from finances, like maybe your kid wants an extra computer.
And you tell them no.
Lack of personal time. We've talked about parents that just sit in the car or go hide in the bathroom, or they've got their own little place they're trying to retreat, just get away from the dang kids. And then that work-life balance, that life is kind of out of whack for them. So that is the number 3 times per week. So I would assume you probably need to be right around that mark, or you're probably not doing it right. Now, it's interesting to see how the parenting has changed a bit. I just saw that they're talking a little bit more about that rough and tumble parenting, which we talked about. They're trying to get away from being the helicopter parents. I know you're pretty open about swearing in your home, Virginia. So you're a lot like Dax Shepard and Kristen Bell.
I saw that story this morning and it made me happy because I think they're right. I think that language is just language and it's spicy. It's fun. We have to know where and when to drop F-bombs. You can't drop them at school. Mm-hmm. You can't drop them in a restaurant. You can't drop them to an adult.
So their daughters are 10 and 12. And they say they are fine with their little girls using curse words if it's called for and if they're respectful and it stays within the house. Those are the 3 guidelines.
You can't abuse it. You can't just curse to curse and just go on a, foul-mouthed tirade. But if the moment calls for it, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, I had a very loud family, and we cursed a lot. And plus, I played baseball. And every other word is F this.
Yeah, so they say that really they are okay with it. It just has to be done right. And in a way, they're trying to teach their kids how to swear properly.
I agree with that, because you can do it too much and come off like you're trying hard. Mm-hmm. And if you don't ever curse, then you just come off a little prudish to me.
Well, I think they're kind of going into something saying that, we need to model for our kids really every aspect of life. And too often parents leave some of these things that they feel are outside of the bounds of parenting just for the kid to find out on their own or just hoping that they'll never do it. You kind of turn this weird blind eye to the fact that there are going to be these temptations out there and your kid is eventually going to say a swear word and they're going to be involved in some of these things. Why not be an active participant to help model it for them to say, okay, here's the thing about swearing. People will look at you weird if everything that comes out of your mouth is swear words, if it doesn't have a purpose, and if it's just gratuitous. So let us teach you how to swear properly.
In parenting in general, I like that they're saying, leave nothing unspoken. Let's talk about it all. Mm-hmm. So that when you go out there in the world, you have a good grasp on the person you want to be. You've already figured it kind of out, and your parents have guided you. You're not just out there learning, making mistakes, exploring all over the place.
The other thing they do that I love is they are big on modeling conflict resolution. They say they'll always make sure that they say any apology they need for each other in front of their kids so they can see how you do it, and then also how to talk through disagreements. And so often, remember your parents would go and have an argument in a room and you would hear doors slamming or yelling and things like that. And
constantly.
You're just like,
the
oh,
fights about money that happened in my house were traumatic. And I think that's why I have money issues now.
Right.
Why I'm always stressed and think that I'm going to run out of money. And I'm just like, ah.
Money sometimes is more of a deal breaker than cheating.
You're right.
Not that I bring the kids in and give them a front row seat to your biggest knockdown dragouts, but to at least say, hey, this is a little disagreement we have that's not so serious, and we can have a discussion about it and come to an agreement together and let our kids watch so that they can understand what it's like to make compromises and how to talk without yelling and try to make your own point and present your case without it blowing up.
Rocco's a little young, but I do that with Magnolia. Like, I've explained everything about finances to her and how we do our finances and how it minimizes conflict.
Yep.
When I have my money and Panda has his money and they're separate and everybody knows what bills they have to cover, everybody knows their responsibilities for the household bills, we don't have to ask each other's permission to spend our own money, and therefore we're not fighting about money. Like, you cover you, I'll cover me.
Yeah, I just think it's good when you do bring your kids in on some things that typically our parents or older generations never let their kids see, and then they just sent us out into the world without any real instruction on how to do it. And I could have really used some training on effective conflict negotiation, because I averted conflict for so long in my life and it was a major weakness, and I realized you can't avert conflict.
No, you can't.
You need to have real conversations that sometimes can get uncomfortable with people so that things don't become 100 times worse on down the road.
I mean, you work with Virginia and me.
But it's a skill. It's a skill. And I learned by watching my mom do it wrong. You know, when things would upset her, she would like bottle it up. And then eventually there would be an explosion. I'm like, okay, that's not the way to do it.
Right, exactly.
When something is bothering you, you got to like say it and say it early and not let things grow and grow to where you're ready to strangulate your husband.
I'm guilty of that too, though. Like how you're saying you don't like conflict. Sometimes I'll let something build up, and then all of a sudden, Volcano Pennington comes out.
It's just not good. It's not good for you. It's not good for the relationship, and it's certainly not good to let your children watch you do that.
Sure.
If you want them to be healthy and have constructive conversations and conflict, you got to show them.
And how often was that modeled for us effectively as kids? It was often just said, don't yell, go sit in the corner, you're in timeout because you lost your marbles. It wasn't that, hey, you need to understand how to express yourself better. That was not effective. That was not good.
Let's talk this through.
I think it happens a little bit more now because I see my wife as an educator with younger kids and how she models it. In my generation, that kind of stuff didn't happen.
Never.
I mean, it's really kind of a course on social skills.
Yes, it is.
It's valuable stuff.
Our parents didn't have any clue.
It's 70s and 80s, they're smoking in the car with the kids.
I ran the streets. No one knew where I was for about 12 hours a day in the summertime. Like, I can't imagine not knowing where Rocco is for 12 hours a day.
I mean, I know people say that we're too soft now, but we were a little too hard back then.
Amen. Where's that balance?
Where's that middle ground?
Yep.